I save all of this fire. It's got the. 90 over. Anybody look at that? Because it was the family room that was added legally on the tag. And somebody came in and they were concerned about removing vegetation on the sides. It's just surprised that it came back because I thought we.
Is it coming back for the same reasons? We're gonna bring the live recording of this meeting in session. Welcome, everyone. Make sure our cell phones are silenced. This is not for public comment. It's our work session. We'll start promptly at 6:30. So we need to see from Maria,
Yeah.
would probably
Did 90 Overhill come to us before?
Yes.
for the same,
No,
something different.
effort. They ended up doing more work than they should have, than they were actually, that the COA uncovered specific work. They did more than that, and they're coming back here to review that, what they did.
Okay, the addition.
That explains all the revision bubbles and.
Yes.
Okay.
I also know something about Nambi Hill as well. I just gave it to Maria, did you put the?
Yeah, I just gave them the,
Yes, that's brand new, and we just kind of
Plan
like,
examiner report? Yeah,
we didn't have one for this application until now.
okay,
So we made it 15 minutes ago,
right.
but, a question that I was also quoted from buildings as well was, just, to discuss, like regarding like the proposed HVAC unit, to discuss where the compressors are located on that unit. Because on the plans, they can be seen like all over the facade, and we need clarity on like, is it underground, is it surrounded by greenery? Like, that sort of thing.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, for sure.
Kevin, there's some seats in the back. You can be closer to the air conditioning. One for 90 over here. Use items that are noted. Of a combination of what was going on before.
Yeah. Apparently.
This is new.
Yeah.
Yes,
So there's a lot listed here. I think it's what was already.
I believe what you just said was
Yeah.
that they, did more work than what was originally approved.
Bubbles.
So,
Yeah, actually, we have a seat.
It is.
It'd be good to see the combination now of
Correct.
rather than bits and pieces.
so that's what this is, noting. Yeah, this is the document they just got 15 minutes ago. So the
Okay.
third item is that be shown alongside the original so that we can see certain details. And then you can certainly ask about the history, last applications, for the record. Get a potential drawing of maybe what happened fire. And also, when was bulleted item that we're gonna be looking at? You're sharing.
The weather was really nice.
That's,
We didn't feel.
it's just the one pager. That
It's not hurtful.
got it, I think.
From the last meeting, when there's patient questions, I wanted to ask, the group. Is there, oh, I know you know what I'm thinking and what to say, but is there a way for this board to, no, to know what the parameters are? Yeah, of course, there's a way for us to know. We can ask, what are the parameters? And it's like, well, it's only here. Because I feel like we're being federalists when we actually see the application. That's my point.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not. And what are the rules around that? Sun catching.
Yes.
We're over here discussing. When we have to deal with legalizations of work that's already done, is there anything within our, within the code and within our purview that relates to it so that we're informed? We kind of always feel like we're in a powerless situation. And if we're informed, about, again, anything related to work that's previously done and it's coming to us in the organization, just so that we'll know. And if there's a way to, seems like we've been getting a lot. So if there's a way to kind of, make applicants aware of that it's not okay to kind of do this. And I think the last time we really had this issue, there was a conversation that I remember saying, we get it, because you get some people saying the building department this, the city that, we understand, however, they are related to, and we just don't know what those rules are. And what if there is any, there might not be any, and we like to know that. So just put that on your radar.
And I guess, is there any retribution on the part of the applicant? Like, there's one tonight where a letter was written and basically it said, well, the weather was really nice, so we just went ahead and did the work anyway.
Let me see what the rules and the code say. At a minimum, applications are signed. That's like at least a soft certification. And if they're signed by a professional engineer or licensed architect, so you can bring that out. This license and help it to a particular standards. Even doesn't mention part of the public hearing that might have an impact, at least moving forward. Let me see. Let me see what the code says.
And as far as we're looking to make sure that any work is within the character of the context where it resides, that, it fits in the neighborhood, it's not going to be an eyesore. How far legally do we have that ability? Because you do see things from the sides sometimes. It doesn't have to be the front elevation on the building.
If the signs are included, if it's visible from the street, it's within a purview,
Yeah.
always have.
Yeah,
Just sharing.
Any exterior element.
Yeah.
Could be.
okay,
It could-
okay,
From a neighbor's house.
okay.
Yeah, they just got that from the building department. Was not part of
Yeah, because the way it was written here, if this came already to have it clear. It was already brought forward, these are the addition, but it just got a whole
Yeah,
here. Like,
Yeah.
if you didn't know, you.
you know, anything you feel. Questions. Cause it'll help us too.
Yeah.
Strategy. Whatever needs to go. And those. The same. So,
It's for you right now. I am with you.
yeah,
I don't want to do anything that is.
so, you know.
Turn this into an out.
Judicious about. Judicious about what we believe. in. I don't know if you all heard that, you know, have what we have seen. You know. Really.
I've gone through everything.
Good.
Very soon.
Yeah, exactly.
No need to.
Yes, yes.
And actually, one big one, which I was just looking to see the time here, is the floor and decor store, the old stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not on the agenda.
Which is that? There's gonna be.
Oh, never mind. It is. It
It
is.
is?
Sorry. Yeah.
What's the other, video flooring and flooring that will be occupied. Old Stop and Shop. Okay, so, that application is number what? 3.11, so it's early on.
3.1. 396.
Because we're converting the minutes to be. No, so it will be there until Thursday.
I know. So yeah, we'll just be concise and coach here.
I mean, honestly, I didn't see anything. Like I said, it's going to wait a little better. That they look increase in improvement to the street gate. And oh, and our two things are coming back. It's only over the thing across the hall.
Yeah.
It's taking back, they gotta fix the slants because they're not using natives. And then Shaheen did his little retaining wall thing. And within about a 3 foot space, put green giant thuja. You know how big those things get?
They're never going to be, it's not big, it's only a 3 foot space though.
No, they'll take over the sidewalk and the yard. Those things are
They'll
15 to
start-
20 foot in
oh.
diameter when they grow. So he's got to change them.
And those are not native.
Oh, no, yeah, the thujas are,
Those are
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
What are they called?
thuja, the green giants. That's what everybody puts to shield their
Right.
house, but they're the ones that get really,
Really tough.
they're better than the land cypresses. They're not as tall.
Yeah, those cypresses really are.
I can't.
What did you mention about the Stop and Shop?
What is that? What's looking to do there? Floor and decor.
Just unbelievable to me because Stop and Shop's leaving. I don't know that much about that area, but to me, it left the food desert. Now you only got Pelham to go to full grocery. I didn't realize that was like a super Stop shop, which I don't. I
It
don't
was,
know
yeah.
That ends.
Yes, I have been. It does service that neighborhood to your point. That vicinity, I won't even say neighborhood, but that vicinity.
Yeah. Warren gives that. Planning. Like planning board. Like the.
Get one.
So-
Facilitated.
Yeah, and I get like. Floor to floor. I mean, is it really gonna be successful? I mean, I guess it's regional in a
I'm
sense, but
curious, what was the reason that's not closed?
I don't think they would.
I wonder what reasons. You know, was it internally or was it? Yes. Say that again.
What is the why?
Yes. Was it an internal operations?
I think it had to do with Fairway going out and right coming.
Not right. Or fair.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
big. That's
wait,
big.
Major.
yeah, and wait, and the Chico is not just over
Talking
there.
about that for miles. I really think this.
But
Good for you. So I just think for a while.
You'd rather go to the
No, it was just like to,
market
in
than to the one. on-
calendar thing, just for on vacation.
Oh.
Anything.
It's random. Well, they didn't feel it for me.
I wasn't sure about this. We're meeting. I'm sorry.
Nothing else says.
It's still very unreal the way they do those things. Anyway, you're off, you're
A
taking.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, just 2 days.
All that traffic from all of.
I don't have a lot of vacation.
Times 2 days, isn't it? Which is
Between that and
Where?
8 and 5.
People were upset that it was closed. But
I have to start looking at my vacation plan too.
it was
I want to take some more.
That's what I was wondering.
We have that.
I'm gonna go again.
fresh was not part of it.
Yeah, pressure.
Something else.
Exactly.
Sure.
We don't have to do that because
Yes.
in July, we'll know what's gonna happen.
Should be full
Or
of.
we'll already know.
Especially when you have such a large area to send
I'm
them.
going to.
You know, again, sometimes the feeding and get that level of service.
Yeah.
It's 6:30. Yeah, 6:30. I'm gonna start. So we're gonna bring our meeting to order for March. Did you hear that? For June 25th, 2025. The meeting is now in session. So again, a reminder to please silence all cell phones. And we will start with the first item on the agenda, which is our roll call.
Buzz Riley.
Robin Myers.
Sylvia Woods.
And second item, number 2, approval of minutes. We have 3 months. That's where I got the March from, you guys. March, April and May minutes to approve. And I believe we've had enough time to review those minutes and any questions.
If I was not in attendance for the March, do I vote on approval or?
If you had a chance to read.
I haven't. I did go back and look at the deliverables that Maria sent
Okay,
from March.
if you're comfortable. are you
Yeah, I am.
comfortable? Okay, then you
I just
can,
didn't want to break.
right,
protocol.
right. You don't want to be,
Like, were they, motion?
or they can be tabled.
Very tight.
We'll table the March. Right, we'll table the March. minutes. Thank
It's
you.
the minutes and
Not just.
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah. So, we will table the March,
I know, me too.
the March minute approval, and if there's an approval for April and May,
I make a motion.
is there a second?
I will second.
All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Okay, public meetings. Let's see. 3.1, 896 South Columbus Avenue, section 169.56. In the I Industrial District, we have received a sign posting. Let's see where we are here. Christopher Rooney of 896 South Columbus Avenue, LLC. Mr. Christopher, hi there. Represented by Emmanuel Diamore, the lead design professional. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to rehabilitate the existing second-story manufacturing building into a storage facility. Thank you. Please state your name.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel Diamond. Last time we were here, there was concern regarding the planting to aesthetics. So we showed here that obviously what happened to do that is to repair the existing canopy and repaint it, repaint the existing railing, power wash and repaint all the existing pavers leading to the entrance. resurfacing and repairing all the property in front, as well as providing a stream planting along the front 4 feet with evergreens, as well as another strip towards the street, 3 feet. And we are and also keeping the existing side strip up there. Here we indicated illustration. So ideally, we were thinking instead of closing it way to leave 10 feet on each side. So it doesn't create that space very, secure, and it's easier for what is to monitor. We also have a few smaller renderings that show little different angles of the front. To show side here, going up this. Right, just standing on the entire strip at the end.
Is this a native planting, plant schedule for,
These are evergreens.
It's not, they're not native. The evergreens that you have are native to Japan, to Asia. And the hydrangea as well, even though it has been naturalized in this country. My suggestion is you go back and look at thuja, which is also an evergreen. There are some that are scaled, not the green giants. There are some that are scaled that will only grow to a certain height. But the ones that you've identified are not native, and they're going to be problems. They'll die. They'll not do well.
I mean, we're more than happy to take your suggestions and replace these species with the one you were.
great,
So, and the hydrangea, sorry, I have to always look at the word to say it. The arborescence is I'm happy to write this down if you like.
If you,
we'll have, Nkachi make note. It's arborescence?
Yeah, it's the hydrangea arborescens, ARBORESCENS. Those are native to New York specifically. And so, and again, the reason for this is one, it's just smarter because you're creating an environment for plants that are born and bred here, if you will. But they will make, from a maintenance standpoint, they will be less maintenance for anyone. They're not as prone to disease. We all know what happens when plants get diseased. They get taken away and nothing gets put back in its
Right.
place.
Dr. We're more than happy to.
Great. Okay, that'll be a condition.
Definitely.
Is there anything else
Not for me.
on this
I-
application?
I do applaud you for greening this up.
Yeah,
It softens.
quite
the-
nicely.
The street. I think you did a good job.
And thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, we have those conditions. If there is a motion to approve based on those, conditions,
I will make a motion to approve based on those conditions that was just mentioned.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You have those noted.
I have one behind the hydrangea.
And the hydrangea arborescens.
Thuja?
And then the
Thuja.
THUJA. Arbor. And it's ARBORVICAE. Like I'm spelling the.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So specific information. Okay, 3.2 ARB 25-2, 147 West Sanford Boulevard. in the Commercial Business District. A board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Javier Hayward, is represented by architect Ibrahim Greenridge. Ibrahim Greenridge, thank you for that correction. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for a second floor addition to a pre-existing non-conforming single-family residential building in the Commercial Business District. Thank you, Ibrahim.
No problem.
And
Nice to see you all again.
yes,
Happy Wednesday. Last time you liked some samples. I provided some samples here. Siding. Siding material, that's the exact color, and that's the material underneath. And we provided, in the event they said that there might be a shortage, these are three options, but this is what we're going with, that's labeled. Peter Gray. These down, the same thing, I just scanned them just so that you have a regular. Yeah.
thank you.
The one label number one. The roofing.
These are three.
Good.
So I'm curious, did anybody make a decision about the side with the garden, little window?
Option one is what we're going with, the design intention.
Which one was that?
It's the one, the original design without the garden.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. Is that the only thing we had to review for this outfit?
Think about it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming back with those.
No problem.
So, is there a motion to approve as
I
submitted?
make a motion to approve as submitted.
Is there a second?
I will second it.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you,
Aye.
Ben.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item, 3.3 ARB 356 Union Avenue in the RMF 6.75 multifamily residence. This, we have received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Daniel Amnakusi of Suburban Builders LLC, represented by architect Shaheen Badali. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a new three-story, three-family detached apartment house. You are not Shaheen, you are
My name is Kevin Monella, representing Shine Badali in this application.
Kevin. Spell your last name, please.
M as in Mercy, U, N as in Nancy, E, N as in Nancy, E, Monella.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
So we were here, the last board meeting, and there was a few suggestions to clean up the facade of the building. A brief recap of the construction. It's a proposed new three-story building with 3 units, 1 studio unit in the basement, 2 bedrooms in the first floor and 2 bedrooms on the second floor. So like I mentioned, the last meeting, you suggested that we, kind of change up the front facade to look like a kind of like a trapezoidal look at the front of the 3 windows here, and then reduce the size of the awning at the front, then change the door color to something more popping. So we went ahead and made all those changes. We didn't get the rendering for these changes yet, so we couldn't provide the rendering for this meeting, but we did do the elevation with the plan. So I don't know if that's clear enough of the plans, or we still in the rendering to clarify it. So
Do you have samples?
I said we brought samples the last meeting. I didn't think we needed to bring it again for this meeting. We had samples of all the materials, the siding and the roofing.
We didn't have a question about samples. Okay. What color is that door?
Blue, light blue, like
Okay.
and then there was also a question of the lighting that was provided. We wanted a more something that's more charming, I guess, the neighborhood. So we provided
Yep, I see it. Okay,
change that up to that. So if there's any other more suggestions or questions, answer the questions.
let's see here, proposed wrought iron fence, is this? 360 fence. Proposed wrought iron fence is within the required 4-foot by zoning code.
We're on.
Oh, okay. I'm not focused there. Never mind. All right. Was there anything else on the?
No, I was back at when. Kevin, remind, this is a vacant lot today, right?
Okay,
It's a vacant lot today.
yes,
Streetscape, this is what we had talked about. I.
You don't. I think it's a bay window. Is it?
No, that's in the gable. There's a
Oh, yes, yes.
part of me that feels like it should have been round. Something to a little bit more detailed than just a. But I'm not.
Do around the grill. Condition.
You
It could be a
consider
big thing.
doing a round instead of a square in the gable?
or here,
Yeah, no,
No, up at
the
the,
grill here.
yeah,
like the window itself, or
yeah, just a round, like a.
Yeah.
like a certain, like a semicircle inside?
Yeah. Well, I was talking about a full,
Or the.
Yeah.
Circle.
Yeah. go big or go home.
Okay.
No, I think it looks good, and I think it will definitely be an improvement to the streetscape.
Yes.
Thank you.
And their planting schedule was good, or was there any space for it? Was this the
I-
one that was?
Yeah, we do have plans to schedule, and I don't think, I've seen no any comments on that, but I can show you the.
The backyard is all lawn.
Then we have some, azalea back here and. Yeah, just, yeah, azalea back here with some seasonal flowering. Then, yeah, seasonal plants on the side.
Shaheen has gotten used to me at this point.
Yeah,
And we thank you for noting that. Okay. Any other questions for this applicant
Make
Fair.
a motion
with that condition?
with the condition, search the window conditions.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Kevin, thank you so much.
sure.
appreciate it.
Okay, now we're at 360. Now we're at
Oh,
360
yeah.
Franklin Avenue.
Get Kevin still.
The RMS, multifamily residency, you got it, anytime. Multifamily residence district, the board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Jacqueline Marston. Jacqueline? Okay. Represented by Kevin and not Shaheen, as the lead design professional. Let's see here. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to remove an existing concrete masonry unit, CMU, retaining wall in the front yard of the existing 2.5-story single-family stucco residence and replace it with a new 6-inch high. Is that a typo? 6-inch high and 8-inch wide. Concrete retaining wall with a 42-inch high wrought iron fence constructed on top of the wall in front of the existing concrete retaining wall.
So you recall this, right?
I do.
This is our city, that was built on city property.
I got the address. Okay, Kevin, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so, the application was to, we were excited to remove some walls and fences that were along the front of the property line that were in the city right of way. So the application is to remove all the walls that are in the city right of way and push them back to the property line. We did provide plans that show how the new layout is going to be. The wall that's proposed is to see a new wall at the front. It's about 6 inch to 1 foot in height, and then a fence on top of it. The fence is 42-inch wrought iron, black in color. and matching the existing gate that's on the right side of the property. We also removed a fence that was along the left side of the property that was a wooden fence. Was part of the solution to remove it. I have pictures of what the pre-existing condition was. This is the gate at the left side. That gate, and then on the left side of the property, the fence I'm talking about, removed. Part of the property, and this right up here that had a iron fence as well, like it was all in the city right of way, so we had to push everything back. The new fence is. So the new fence is going to match the look of the existing gate with the wrought iron, kind of like a nice design in the middle, which is what it looks like. The color is the same. Dark gray, black color. Then we also provided planting between the new wall and the old wall. This location. Right here, where this is the existing wall, this is the new wall along the property line, this area here, we have new plantings to kind of clean that up.
So when you say gate, you're talking about the new gate, yeah, at the driveway, okay. Are they going to be more or less at the same height, at least the top?
Yes.
We're clear about the existing stone masonry wall as it relates to what's going to be newly built.
All concrete, so there's no, Kevin, there's no veneer that's being applied to the con, it's just bare concrete.
Yeah, right.
To have any sort of texture or?
If your suggestion is provided type of section, we can provide sample or something, just leave it a finish. But currently, it's just CMU blocks.
Yeah, I know what it is today,
We'll have,
yeah,
planting.
I don't think it necessarily has to. Age, seasoned. So Kevin,
These buildings changed that as well? The ones that running along the steps, are they changed that as well, or will they be the same?
They're not pulled out to change, but we can match the new colors, let everything evenly. I don't believe they're being changed.
Okay.
so my suggestion.
We matched.
Yeah.
My suggestion on the new retaining walls is to not do smooth. There's this rich texture on the existing wall. It's, it has a patina. It's very aged. And I think just so it's not such a strong contrast is to look at, finishing process that would give it a little bit depth. I'm not suggesting another layer of anything or veneer or stucco or anything like that. And by the way, nothing comes to mind. I'm not familiar enough with this. I just know that you can do a textured surface on a concrete.
Probably the main thing would be to, in the wall that is aged, that has a bit of a patina, to maybe see if there's a main, like a field color within that. And perhaps maybe that would require painting, unless it's something mixed in with the material. Whatever your texture, so that it doesn't look completely different, if you can. Just a
But
thought.
also keep in mind, it's about 1 foot high, so not that much.
But you have that one and then you have the one
One
behind.
in the back, I don't think we're doing any alterations to it. It's gonna remain the same texture as this. There's no changes with that. The one that's already legally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Maybe it's not so bad. as a smooth surface because it's not gonna be this high.
Right.
Showing 6 inches.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought that was a typo at first.
So, and Kevin, there's, just one thing. It looks like on the landscaping, it looks like your photo is showing ilex, but like a holly. And you're calling for the green giant. Oh, no, you are calling for the ilex here. Where did I see? Okay, never mind. I thought I saw where you guys were putting things in there that were gonna grow way too big. But you got it.
So no conditions here. Okay. There's a motion to,
It is here. You have, you, on your schedule at the very top, you identify the ilex, which is perfect. Those are the right scale. But then underneath, you've got the botanical name and common name, and you did the green giant thuja.
Oh, right here?
Yeah,
Okay, we can see.
okay. Because those will grow 15 to 20 feet in diameter.
okay. There is a motion to approve with that slight change.
I make a motion to approve with the slight change.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, 3.5, 420 North Terrace Avenue in the RMF 10 multifamily residential district. We have received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Sal Tedeschi of North Terrace Ownership Group LLC, represented by Kevin of Shaheen Medallion Lead Professionals. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a new 3-story, 12-unit apartment building with cold formed steel framing and a brick veneer.
So, as stated, the proposal is for 12-story apartment building. On an existing lot of approximately 5,000 square feet, of 9,500 square feet. A brief description of what the floor plans look like. Basement has parking area in the back, storage and recreational spaces. Nothing, no livable living area in the basement. First floor is three one-bedroom apartments and a 2-bedroom apartment. Rear end of the property, same layout, from second to third floor. Totaling up to about 12 units. We have the roof is an open roof, there's no terrace, there's no proposed recreational space in the everything of the basement. And the building itself is composed of a graded facade all around. With the concrete coating from the top. Top whole finish around top of the first floor. Crystal windows, double panel windows. All around as well. And pretty much the architectural part of the building. I have a rendering that shows how the building is going to look in the final product. And I believe the owner brought some samples of finish, the brick finish that,
And those light fixtures?
the light fixtures, I have the lighting plan. I don't think I have a frames of lighting plan, but I do believe that a lighting plan shows what fixtures have been used. Probably we should be forward, but. Yeah. Okay. Put that together and send it out for you.
And you have samples?
Of
Of
the
the-
material, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there anyone from the public here? Just curious.
Yeah.
Anyone from the public here that's interested in this application? No? I see them, but I can't really see what they are.
Kevin, could you share with us the units?
Yeah,
Breakdown of the unit?
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the red brick. Window, plan, wall. You know, building. And cheap.
So just to reiterate, just the unit breakdown, the basement, we have 5 spaces which are in conjunction with the rear parking spaces that are kind of right here in the open lot. Some of them are in the basement, they're not enclosed, this is just an opening towards that. And then it's all equipment room, we have a recreational facility here, which is about 500 square feet. Gas meter room and a storage room right in the middle, bicycle parking right next to front of the parking spaces. First floor, we have a 1 bedroom and 2 1 bedrooms front end of the building and a 1 bedroom at the rear left and a 2 bedroom at the rear right side of the building. Same, was not there. Second floor, we have a 2 bedroom at the front, a 1 bedroom at the front of the building. Then another 2 bedroom at the back of the 1 bedroom, so total of 6 units at the second floor. Second,
Maybe.
that's it, layout.
And you said 6 units on the second?
No, not 6, 4 units,
4
six
units.
bedrooms.
There ample parking? in
Yeah.
the Back to accommodate?
So we have 11 parking spaces.
Okay.
That various, I think required for 1 parking space. I don't remember. But we were able to show that we are within other means of public transportation. We're less than a quarter mile from the train station, bus stop. So we are like within public transportation, so we were able to get that through.
Looking at
like, spaces.
either
Yeah,
sometimes.
12 units, 11 spaces.
Requirements on the parking.
Right, right. So the zoning board approved the variance, but also the applicant has to pay a fee to the city of payment in lieu of the parking that's not provided. So that money will go to the city to theoretically construct parking somewhere else. In theory.
I did. So the condition of the sidewalk, is that, in your estimation, okay? Will you be redoing the sidewalk? As
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of the,
Right here in front of the property.
correct?
Yeah, absolutely, because the new driveway, the whole place has to be kind of cleaned out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these,
I think we understand that.
okay. And the trees that we see in the rendering, and is that noted, the green rectangular squares in front on that? And those trees will be,
I wish I had the planting schedule as well, but I don't have the planting, the engineering drawings, I don't have it printed out, but I can send that out to you, clarify it.
and the windows are gonna be a 6/6?
Yes.
I wonder if it would soften it up a bit. Is there a reason for the 6/6?
We're open to any suggestions you might have.
That's industrial.
This is only 8 of 8.
I'm sorry, 8/8. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
And it is 8:08. Yeah.
I actually don't carry what seems to walk my dog. People definitely- What?
Yeah, I know,
Shade.
yeah. But I do think because it's so many homes, so
Yeah.
I'm just struggling with the window, maybe if, then I don't know if that'll do it, to be honest. The surround around the window, is that aluminum capping or will that be a masonry? The thickness that we're seeing around, will that be masonry, please?
Probably, yeah, like they could be, yeah, listen, we could check this concrete.
And it'll have that detail as noted. Top center of the masonry of each window, there's a little detail here.
It's done.
Yeah. Providing for the light fixture and the planting tree. They're gonna have to come back to us for that,
What is this again?
do native trees and to give a cut sheet for the light fixtures.
I mean, if you want to see the cut sheet, I mean, they were told specifically to bring that. To the decision, well, do you want to, if you want to see what they want to, yeah, I guess they'd have to come back. Yeah,
Or it's submitted for final approval.
What's that?
To submit it for final approval,
What is,
the light fixture and the planting schedule.
when you say submit it at the next meeting? Or
In the,
in the interim?
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
I mean, it's just, the concern is that when we've done that in the past, it takes the applicant longer than if they had just come into the meeting. So the thing is like, I don't want to delay the applicant. If it's faster for them, come back next month, I'd rather just have them come back next month. You know what I'm saying?
That too.
I'm sure you heard all of that. Yeah, especially when cut sheets are requested in writing. So you come back with those two details, we'll be able to quickly give you an approval, but everything else looks great.
Sure, would you clarify the two details?
The native planting for the trees, right? And just to confirm that the masonry is what we see as the surround around the windows with that nice little keystone at the top. And
I just checked, it's called out to be hardy plants around the window, but if you prefer masonry, we can always,
yeah, if it's brick, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a brick building? And then a cut sheet for the lighting, the actual lighting that we're using. And those are the three items.
And what sort of exterior lighting is planned for the parking area in the back?
yeah, we do have that already done, I just don't have the details settled, I'll submit it.
Okay.
So for front and back,
Yes.
okay. We'll look forward to seeing that at the next meeting, and thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Lucas. for that.
do we have a recommendation for the windows, the 8/8?
I did, and I left it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I left it alone.
I didn't call it. It's 146 apart.
All right, public hearing. This is a new public hearing. 45 South 9th Avenue, section 165.77 in the RMF multifamily residence district. The ARB has received an affidavit of signed posting The owner is Millicent Nelson. Hi, Millicent. Hello, Millicent. Represented by Kevin again for Shaheen. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to replace existing roofs, slate roof shingles to new asphalt shingles.
Can I grab that sample for the?
Yes.
So this is a quite simple application. The owner is looking to replace the existing material with the shingles to stone shingles. That's basically what the application is, just the whole entire replacement of shingles,
I'm sorry, they're shingles today or slate?
slate, so.
Oh, that's okay.
How long have you owned the house?
32 years.
32 years in that neighborhood? You've had,
Been living here. And you can have worse. You know, that's what it- It's the original room.
you had someone, doing your maintenance, who specialized in slate over the last 30 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Where you predominantly seeing the leaking issue?
It's in the attic. Everything.
Line.
Third something.
And which, one are you replacing? What color are you looking to?
That's one. So that's. Mark one. Right here.
So- Hey, guys. Are you also replacing the gutters along with the roof? Yes, yes, because they tie in.
Yeah.
Reading quite a while. Stay in the rust was wrong.
5-inch gutter, the same material? I'm
Put it
sorry.
together. I'm contracted, but I'm not doing.
When you say you're together, you need to clarify that.
Rumors will abound.
Millicent? Okay, got you. Okay.
I'm gonna say the golf team did.
Right. Right. Okay. So
Do that.
it happened. No, but in all seriousness, so great. Your gutters are gonna be replaced with the roof. They're gonna be a 5-inch gutter. Are they going to also be white? Are they gonna be like the white aluminum gutters? And get your downspout, so anything to move that water away from the house.
I
Yeah, I see.
looking at Google Earth,
Yeah.
I see the rust that you're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Google Earth and I see the rust on the side.
Okay.
So my one comment about the gutters is, it looks like you've got, just make them consistent. But one, maybe they are the same. Anyway, just make them consistent.
I'm sure. Gutters would be consistent. Do you know which line you'll be using of gutters? Not sure.
Yeah, I think that.
Any further questions or comments?
So I'm sorry.
Shadowing.
This is the pseudo slate appearance, right? Not the demolition.
Okay, is there a motion to approve as submitted?
Second.
Awesome, all in favor? Good luck. Okay. See here. The new public hearing, 115 Villa Street in the R1 Single Family Residence District. We have received an affidavit of signposting. Owner is Joshua Schnickman.
Schickman, yes.
Say that again?
Schickman.
Schickman, thank you. Represented by, once again, Kevin for Shaheen. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for proposed addition to the basement and first floor at the rear of the existing single-family dwelling. Thank you for coming.
Just wanted to address something you may notice already. We applied for this permit May of last year. And in July, we requested a plan exam for us, so from the ARB. We never got a response from the Department of Buildings. In August, they requested some more details from the application, which we did. And then they sent it off for code review, which was done. LaBelle and Associates requested some additional details, which we submitted. And we heard nothing. And then in November, we received a permit and a plan examiner's report that said no board approval was required. I have a copy of those here. We requested clarification from the Department of Buildings, and then the DOB posted a letter to our application from the planning department to the Department of Buildings, explaining that because it was in the rear of the property and it was not within sight of the frontage, we didn't need board approval, and we were told we could start by the Department of Buildings. Since then, we've done the excavation and received inspection for that. The foundation received inspection for that, rough plumbing, rough electrical, and framing, all of which have passed through inspection. That's and then in the course of the project, we were also changing some of the layout of the old part of the house, which entailed demolition, and it's been moved out since the start of the year. And during that demolition, our engineer reviewed the inside of the existing structure and determined additional structure was required. And so we came with a permit amendment beginning of May to show that additional structure. A different staff member within the Department of Buildings reviewed our application and requested where our certificate of appropriateness was. We showed the original correspondence we had received. I then received a phone call from the Department of Buildings from a plan examiner apologizing effectively that we had been given the wrong information last year, but that we could not proceed without ARB approval. Too late at that point to be on the main agenda. That's why we're here on the June meeting. I just wanted to explain why it is that sort of in the middle of a project, I do not want to be in this situation where we have a lot of sleepless nights wondering what's going to happen because our project is in the state that it is. My family's, we're going to have to pay a lot of extra rent because of this, because our project's been stopped now for 2 months while we're waiting for this to happen. This is not what we intended to do. We did ask twice about ARB review. One time not answered, and one time told we weren't needed, but we didn't need it. We did not attempt to evade this board in any way. I just want to make that really clear before we do that.
Thank you for the backstory and context. We appreciate it.
So, as the owner stated, the project is an addition at the rear end of the existing one family building. The addition in the back is about 415 square feet in area, in footprint area, 450 square feet. We are also proposing to reconfigure the interior, changing up the interior to find more space in some rooms and switch up bedrooms and living rooms in certain areas. So that's part of the application. The existing layout
on the first floor, yeah, 2 bedrooms with a garage in the front, a laundry in the family room. Right now, we have an addition that has a primary bedroom, one bedroom, I mean, 3 bedroom here, which is a lot, the entire layout. So we have 4 bedrooms in the basement, then a garage in the front, and a gym room on the other side of the garage. So that's a total of 4 bedrooms in the gym room. And then on the first floor, the existing layout had 3 bedrooms, living room and the dining room and the kitchen. Now we have 1 bedroom, recreational room with an office, kitchen, living room, dining area. So that's the configuration that is being done in this project. As you can see, the existing siding is not being altered. We're only providing new siding on the rear where the addition is. We are replacing the windows. On most of the building.
Yeah, so it's, we're keeping all the original windows. Any window that we, yeah, basically we're adding new windows to the addition. And then there was one window we had to reconfigure, for merit reasons, but they were Anderson clad windows before, and we'll place any place of putting in windows. Actually, everything will be an Anderson clad window and panels. It's the same 1/1 style with the interior being wood and exterior being composite body.
This is the proposed addition in the back. We have hardy board, vertical hardy board at the first at the top floor, and then horizontal hardy board at the upper floor. These are all new windows. We have a new patio door, which will kind of because the decking had the access to the right side of the building. The deck has been altered since now the addition kind of takes space where the stairs is going down, so the stairs is now facing this way. That's the railing sample that was provided. The new railing facing different direction. The roof is going to be made of asphalt shingles that are being provided shortly. And yeah, that's all the finish that we have for the project.
So you're replacing all of the roof?
No, so the old roof here is in good shape. We're keeping that. And then we are matching, this shingle was chosen because it's the same as the existing shingles on it.
So Kevin, is that in the same plane, the addition?
No, the addition is a low, it is on one side of this, if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, so on this side, it's contiguous. And on this side, it's not. It's actually, the roof is already on.
So you're blending them.
They're blending together. Yeah, that's why. So we chose this because other than I know where it is, I've been up on the roof. I can't tell you where one stops and one.
That's good. That's good. I have another question.
And this is the light fixture that's there.
So this light fixture used to be right here where the door is. So it's taken down. One's gonna go here. This one's gonna go back in place. We're not throwing it away. And then we're getting another one. Okay, then it will kind of go here. And then I have a picture. The reason we have this is the light under the deck. It's the same. It's a different scale, but it's the same manufacturer. So we left the existing light down under here. There's one here. There's one there, and there's a smaller version that uses right over here. So it's all the same manufacturer line. It's just different scale. So one this big and one that.
And you're keeping the hanging pendant.
In the front of the house?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that one,
okay.
I don't know if that picture I have doesn't show it, but yeah, that
Yeah,
one, that one we actually it was custom made to match this, but the bigger scale, they actually made one this big. So that one's like yay big.
Yeah,
It's the same style.
I remember what I was gonna ask now. When you were giving us the backstory, and forgive me if I misunderstood, I mentioned something about now having to do structural work.
well, there's,
So it's basically, if you go to the original floor plan, this wall. So basically, we knew we were taking out this wall. The engineer didn't know until after the demolition exactly what was gonna be necessary to support the load of the roof when this wall went out. So first went the demo, and then went the assessment of the structure, and it's in an amendment, there's now steel post here, steel post here, steel post here, steel post here, steel post here and here, structural I-beam there, an I-beam here, an I-beam here, and a wood post there.
But
So
does that affect anything on the exterior?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I wasn't sure about.
we did not change, so the exterior, there was a lot of, work to make sure that nothing got touched on the front of the house.
Right.
Or any of the visible sides of the house, but no, everything was done from the inside of the house.
Okay. A lot of posts.
Tell me about it. Lot of, okay, and they're expensive too.
They're not cheap.
Any questions? Yeah, yeah. Is there a motion to approve? There's a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Any luck, I'll be
Now,
back
now
in a-
you'll get some sleep tonight.
With any luck, I'll be back in a year or two to talk about the front of the house.
Okay.
Right now, I'll get back in my house. And I won't take no for an answer. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so the next item is a new public hearing. 3.8, 241 North Terrace Avenue in the RMF 10 multifamily residence district. The Architectural Review Board has received an affidavit of posting. The owner is Clary Del Rosario. Clary, hello. Represented by Darlin.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Alvarez. Okay, so the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for a proposed enlargement of the second floor and third floor levels of an existing three-family dwelling with an enclosed balcony proposed on the second floor and an enlargement for the existing third floor dwelling unit on the third floor.
I'll be providing a little background about the project. So this is in three-family house, a wood frame house. For last year, the owner obtained a apartment building permit to do the work in the interior. Once the construction was starting, was in progress, the owner decided to extend the second floor and the third floor to make it matching with the profile of the first floor. So another work will be a legalization request from you guys. All the work has been completed. The form that was submitted shows the final condition of the property. The station was only in the second floor with an enclosed balcony, and the third floor for a length of 8 foot towards the rear.
Is there a presentation aspect that you have?
My colleague was supposed to be here, but for personal reasons, he couldn't make it, so I apologize. So I just, guided by 17.
Apologize.
I apologize for not bringing the poster because my colleague was supposed to be here.
What exactly are we supposed to, do if there's no one walking us through this application?
I'm not clear what we're talking about. You're telling me that the work was already done.
Correct. So you can see the renders here. That was the initial, the condition of the property.
prior to the work.
prior to the work. And the render that you just passed, the blue one, yeah, that's the final condition. So as you can see, this is the, yeah, exactly, that's the. All the styling of the house was embraced by traditional blue color.
Um. There's, you're not able to walk us through any of the details.
As I said, the formation with the presentation, my colleague could, could get to the media on time, so I apologize.
So we're gonna have to table this until next month.
Well,
I'm just sharing,
yeah,
yeah. And when, your colleague does, present, finishes, cut sheets,
Yeah.
all of the things that
yeah,
Maria requests
yeah,
for the application.
we were prepared, just that, he couldn't make it on time.
Okay, okay, all right, we will see you next month.
Okay, no problem.
And I know we just kind of will mingle, and thank you for having that along. Oh, because of what?
Yes,
None.
New public hearing, 3.9, 133 Center Street. Family Residence District. The board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Blaze.
Blaze is the owner's son, but yes.
Okay.
Represent the property.
Melagrano, okay. Oh, okay, Melagrano Trust. Represented by Kimberly Martelli. Hi, Kimberly. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for exterior improvements, including partial replacement of the house and detached garage windows, door trim, roofing and paint, a new side yard porch and steps to grade are also proposed, along with replacing the existing attic front dormer with a skylight and a mini split AC unit at the first floor dwelling unit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kimberly.
Kimberly Martelli on behalf of the current resident, Dominic Melagrano, who lives in this two-family residence with his sister Gloria. Dominic is on the first floor, Gloria is on the second. This is a 1933 constructed two-family home. Went through a number of renovations in 1941. And then as most recently as 1972, there was a rear three-story addition put on the home. The improvements are primarily cosmetic, with one restoration project, as you mentioned, which is restoring and reconstructing the existing small side yard porch. Porch provides access to the kitchen sliding glass doors. Today, and from the photos, you'll see that those stairs come out the front of the house. We worked with the owner and his son to figure out what was best for accessibility and safety, and reverse the stairs so that in fact they go toward the rear of the property. The areas of work, just per site plan for visual purposes, this is the existing porch on the right side. If you notice, this is almost a double wide lot. The structure is sited heavily to the left side, existing non-conformance, as we see from many 1930s homes. We have center of the property with the driveway all the way to the rear. One of the historic additions to the house is when it was converted from a 3-car garage to a 5-car garage. And then to the far right side, a beautifully manicured section of property. The Melagranos who maintain regular maintenance on the property and their existing landscaping. That porch is highlighted here. And the one HVAC piece of equipment is tucked in a neat corner at the back. This will be a Mitsubishi mini split. We're talking about a small suitcase unit tucked neatly between existing landscaping and that one re-entrant corner to the building. The other areas are simply improvements. The masonry and the mortar have started to go and the brickwork, so they're gonna do as much as they can to do maintenance on it. Dominic usually goes in and out his side door, but this will allow him and his family to go consistently through the front door. And I provide photo documentation of what those masonry conditions are. Just for visual purposes, on that ground floor, I've illustrated where the existing porch is to be demolished. As you can see, it has an L-shaped stair going down to the driveway. And again, that's not an ideal situation. We don't like to see any set of stairs enter right into the path of travel. This will go directly tight along the house. So when you're landing at the backside of the stair, you're not in the path of travel of any vehicle. And as a two-family, you have sometimes a little more high traffic areas. So we don't want anyone walking off that step down onto an active driveway. The
Sorry.
split.
While we're on the stair, I'm just looking at the existing conditions
Yep.
image there. So if it's gonna go straight down, where does it go to?
To the back, it's toward the rear.
But-
So,
It looks like there's a little retaining.
no, it's the rear. So you're looking at the front of the house and that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so it goes straight back and it
Yeah.
still lands in the driveway.
You're
Okay,
right. That is not the condition the way it is today. So
yes, yeah.
now with the new step. Now with the new steps for the rear, we don't have that same condition anymore. So we won't have that same condition anymore, where we landed that little set of funky masonry wall.
Yep.
The wall will align right with the back of the house, just along that backside. That's actually a 1970s addition.
Gotcha.
What I was mentioning is that the mini split, in the rear of the house, it's one single unit and it serves 3 units inside, 4 units. There's 2 bedrooms on the first floor, living area, and then a kitchen. And each of those mini splits will be positioned around the first floor. It's not intended for service to the second floor, only for the first floor dwelling unit. And this is just that roof covering over the porch as it is today. We're doing our best to mimic the approximate size of it, but I'd like that the stair is covered as best as possible. The roofing is being replaced as well, and one of the items noted is there's an existing dormer on the front of the house to an inaccessible attic. It's an attic with a hatch to it, but it just repeats the part of the facade a little bit. It's a small dormer, small hip gable dormer, and it'll simply be an on-plane Velux skylight. The coloring for the house is a Coscov stone wall. I can provide images on the model, but this is also the actual color of it. And beautiful with a new gray roof. And yes, there will be new siding. It'll be AFEX siding on the windows and the fascia board throughout. And it will be new gutters and specified white gutters and downspouts. That's the view of the side facade. So there's an existing small one-story structure that sat behind the roof of the porch. The porch roof itself will be a deep charcoal, a clay block stainless steel roof. And it's that color right there that's highlighted. And the added material and the posts themselves will be natural mahogany. Oftentimes I do specify composites. What I did recommend is because Dominic uses entrance frequently, I found that composites and PVCs can get quite slippery in certain weather. And I said, this would be a nice medium. Yes, there's always a cost associated with the maintenance and installation of mahogany of I pay. But it does have that durability and the friction I'd like to see for an older resident going up and down this.
What is this material?
This is genuine mahogany. It will be treated, but it will not be colored. So it will naturally gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just brought 2 samples for the variation.
Sorry, going back to the roof, this is a standing seam metal roof?
Just the little
Just-
tiny, just that little.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just the tiny little one.
Okay,
You
okay.
know why I chose it? I was looking for something that's gonna work well with shallow pitch.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll do EPDM, but if I can get away with, I'm not worried about the sound of it.
Yeah.
On the roof, standing seam is lovely. It's an open space.
That's the most wonderful thing about a standing seam metal roof.
But the sound of it depends on.
There are a few doors too that are being replaced, but at the front, it's not the doors themselves, the storm doors are in poor shape. So I specified Anderson 80 series storm doors for the 2 front entrances. You see one from the front and you see the other one tucked from the side. Each resident has their own entry. And at the side, other side facade, they're just an older door today. Specified a Therma-Tru shaker style door with a glass panel at the top of it. It is this one up here, S4810. So we've had about a third light with two panels underneath it. And that'll be what? White consistent with the trim work. There was a question about landscaping, but I just did want to remind you, although we have some good property to the right side, as I said, it's well landscaped, there is shrubbery that's, again, manicured to the homeowner's desire, but we do not have any property that's necessarily available within this area of work for new landscaping. Everywhere we're working is either on impervious surfaces or directly attached to the face of the house. So we're primarily talking about a cosmetic project.
Was it always 5 garages?
In 1941, 1941,
The
they.
doors, but not
three
the
to five.
garages, so
Yeah.
just wanted to. So could you repeat that? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
1941, they got a permit to change it from 3 to 5 garages.
Okay. And that was.
But you wouldn't know that because you didn't live there.
That was approved.
That was approved and permitted. Yep. There were 2 permits in 1941. One was the garage expansion and the second one was some portion of the second floor. We can either guess that it was the whole front or it was the corner of the front was enclosed. There's a record that building department has drawings, but when we pulled our FOIL and we got our municipal files, no drawings were provided. There is a reference though that some drawings did exist. But it's
Just
1941.
there, I'm only
I
mentioning
don't have
because
high
at some
expectations.
point it can look commercial
Yeah.
and not residential anymore, and when you get to 5
Yeah,
garages.
you know, if you
so
haven't driven,
Just check.
if you haven't driven by it, the visibility of those garages is very negligible. So I'm standing already at the back of the property, so of course I can see all of them. But notice how when I'm at the front, you can't even see the last closest garage. It's a very narrow pathway. Plus, there's also landscaping here along the driveway that screens your view.
I was just.
Yes, it's strange to see that in 1941, 5-car garage, but.
What is the other sample?
Oh, roofing.
Yeah. So it is gonna be an asphalt roof. You're using,
Asphalt roof to asphalt roof.
yeah,
You're
you're using the charcoal gray.
And I'm sorry, not whole window samples, but the windows that are being replaced are being replaced in a time. 2 front windows, 1 on each floor. And then we'll replace these 2 windows, which are casements on the end and picture on the center. So in kind, same size. We're not changing the openings, not changing the style, but they will be brand new insulated windows. Give some improvement to the house for sure. But let me point out something that's important because we talked about. There is a legalization that has been filed when the 1972 edition was built. Here's the property. It included. Yes, I know. It was a bedroom and it was a large closet. But the owner ultimately actually built a closet and a bathroom. And in those bathrooms, there is a small window. The window was not on the original drawings. So we were able to get the record from the building department. I identified that there was a difference and for architectural review, that's the one I need to be aware of that differs. Is that small window with the back with the bathroom. Here it is. So these 2 small windows didn't pre-exist, at least in the drawings that we found on record with the building. So that's what we found as a municipal record. We did have a record of elevations and floor plans. And it was the difference of 1 big closet versus a closet in the bathroom and the added window. The legalization of the bathrooms is going through the building department and also New York State for a variance. There's a clearance at the toilet. So typically we require 33 inches at a toilet, it's 30.
Any questions?
Any exterior lighting at the front door?
The only lighting is in the porch, but it's recessed.
Okay.
Any further questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve as submitted?
I make a motion to approve the submitted.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah,
I think that's it.
and your roofing, I have some else. Kevin Daly. Yeah, so many. Okay, Oh, yes, just before. Okay.
I'm good with it.
Okay, new public hearing, 3.10, 90 Overhill Road. Single family residence district. We have received an affidavit of sign posted. The owner is Peter. Hi, Peter. Say your last name, please.
Alright, so it's
Go ahead.
pronounced when.
When?
Yeah, it's all those unnecessary letters. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But I worked with someone though that they
Peter Wayne.
explicitly knew it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's so much variation, but the correct way is when, but I go with whatever.
Feel like,
Yeah, I don't really like to correct anybody.
represented by Joseph Sultana.
Yeah,
Joseph.
that's our company, yes.
Okay, the lead design professional. Let's see, the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for as-built changes to the exterior walls and facade of an existing single-family residence, including windows, dormers, roof, fascia boards, roofing shingles, entry steps at the rear yard, and the facade base above grade.
Yes.
Ready, set, go.
Huh?
We're ready.
Does my samples of the.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so great to meet you. My name is Sam or Samir. I actually recently joined JLS as a new props manager, so I myself am becoming also acquainted with the projects. But from what I gather, so basically all of these plans and all this was filed even before I began. Now, from what I gather is that as construct, before we begin, so this would be the house in its original form. And then these renderings basically was actually what was approved. And then basically now it changes to this. So this is what the EPS is. And again, the reason for the change is that for the modification, what I gather is that as they were doing the construction or the repairs to the roof, they realized that it was not going to stop the leakage. So basically, to prevent this or to fix the problem, instead of repairing, they needed to replace the roof. So with this particular material over here, and with this, I don't know if you guys got the packets, but this would be the manufacturer. Manufacturer is called. So it's a more comprehensive waterproofing system that they have with, the materials. And they were trying to achieve this. And repairing the roof was not gonna stop the leakage. So they needed to do this. They needed to provide this. Also, you will also see that in the elevations, have no soffits. Elevations. And we were actually gonna heat this with no soffits, but once again, as they were doing the repairs, they realized that actually we were going to need soffits. Again, to prevent the rainwater from coming in. That was a technical decision done in the field. So yeah, as they were doing these changes, one of these modifications, then they actually did a couple of more tweaks here and there, so that it basically fits without the modifications that were required. Also when it comes to windows, also some windows were changed. Basically the size of the windows.
I see that.
I believe that the reason that was more of an availability issue. I don't think that the windows, they were pulled out to be replaced. But I think that,
Can I actually answer? What actually happened was the house was very much deteriorating from the inside out. So when we actually reframed the inside of the house with new beams and we had to re-level the whole entire house, as you know, this project's been going on for almost 3 years now. So based on the windows, the way the pre-existing windows were, the beams and the studs would not fit. So we had to actually open up some and close some based on the beamwork and framework of the house. As you can see, that particular roof line on this particular one, and this one was more of a slant down. So when you went inside the property, you would see the ceiling coming downward from water damage. So when we actually had to re-level, the idea was to make everything level and more of a lesser pitch, due to the fact that this here was coming down and there was, framework that needed to be redone from the inside. So the whole house is reframed, new studs, up to code. We had, the whole house is pretty much gutted. Basically, there was nothing we could say. There was termites, deterioration. The house, built in 1920. So we try to keep the whole historical look to it. But when we were building some of the framework and the structural portion of the house, it limited us on what we could do. So some of the windows and some of the lines are changed a bit to really protect the fact that we had such a big issue with leakage and roof leaking. Prior to us even starting this project, I had a company from Scarsdale who handles just slate work, on repair of slate work. They came and they tried to repair. I didn't bring the invoice, but I just thought about it now. I heard someone else mention about how they were doing repair with slates. He replaced 50 to 75 pieces of slates. And then we were still having issues. They were still chipping, still falling. We couldn't find the same consistency to match what was built in 1920, originally 1920 to replace everything. So, I guess I didn't mean it,
No.
but I guess that's like the one thing that I know that I contribute, with the decision making when this was all occurring.
So the roof was removed and now it's
Now it's the material that you see there, yes.
the asphalt shingle.
Yes, so.
Which we try to keep the same appearance. We just tried our very best.
Originally it was this.
Right.
How they changed it. That's it. This is what people was over. And it was gonna keep this. This is just a rendering, of course. But this is actually what was done.
So I guess, one small detail that I was focused on, and thank you for bringing this over. I mean, you went to, those look like fixed windows. They don't even look like double hung. Whereas what was presented and approved was more in keeping with the casement. So what,
Yeah, I'm listening, yes. Just to kind of clarify something here. So you're saying these were originally double hung?
no, I'm saying this is what you've built.
Yes.
That doesn't look at all like that. These look more like the casement windows that were
I
original.
see what you're saying,
So why?
Again, I think it was an availability issue.
At that time, yeah, when we did it was during COVID.
Because we were called to, we were meant to replace the window, not make a new window, but I think that at the time it was
But if it's in COVID, because we looked at this less than 2 years ago.
Or it could be also, I'm not too sure, was it the fact that we had. So.
So we tried to do the windows over, get the new windows and try to match the renders as much as we can. I was here last time with you guys, with Larry,
Yeah,
project manager, and Smear's our new project manager. So when we're doing the changes while production, try to keep as much as we can to the existing rendering, so we don't like alter too much, we also keep it, updated.
I think this was a mistake. That looks cheap. The window that's installed compared to what was there and what was proposed. I don't think that was a good decision. It's inconsistent with the windows that are on the first floor. I remember the rendering that's on the, yeah.
Same thing for.
In a one case, there windows.
It really does change.
This is the really zone, right? This. Actually, these are the basketballs here.
Yeah. That's very tailored.
You know,
Yeah.
where he's explaining. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just an angle of view, but these are the views.
I mean, I can't make it out. I can't make it out. So is it consistent with what's been presented?
Such a much more cohesive reviews, what was totally done. This is what it is, going to.
This is
I
actually.
didn't even see where
This
the
one's
brick,
floor.
you know, the sound of that, it's here. See that? Such a good opportunity.
No, we don't have it.
Yeah, the windows are not cheap.
Very
Oh.
The trees on my house will bring only the back of them.
very no. We're
I heard that some of this house.
Like big ones, I can imagine.
So I put in a like owl shaped window. Changes everything.
Changes.
And I don't think it's consistent with the architectural style. This is an Normandy Tudor influenced house and putting in cracked housing windows. Arbitrary. This is the front. What you guys started with on,
Yeah, I guess we're just.
okay. So this is, that's where I'm being lost. It's more. Yeah, so where? Yeah, okay, so. This one was where the window.
Ah.
Right, it's okay, it's okay. Look, where is this?
That's. I guess if we're looking from the street, we go left. So it would be on this side. This would be on the left side of the house. And then this would be the garage.
This isn't at all. Yeah. So why did this? I mean, was that, how could that be draining? Because you just have to hit it. You had more glass here than you do here. Putting in these fake dormer type things. I don't know, what's the reason for that? I can't see a function of this. If anything created another valley, I assume that there's a. So is this? Other? And it looks like where the, yeah. And also, we're still under construction. But yeah, and the grading is certainly a lot different. Yeah.
It's also taking to sort of build the patio, check the walls and then.
This window is very large. Yeah, it's got, and it's like a different style.
Like a neutral sign. The way it's treated is sure definitely.
Yeah. Would not be here.
So in this area, we're upstairs, this. This only reflection of the different part. So they basically built this up.
Yeah.
That, you know,
And so let's get organized here. What is it that we are, what's our goal here? It's so different.
It's so different. I would have had the comments that I've been making for the past 10 minutes would have been the comments I would have made.
Well, the concern is that we're looking at built structure. There's really no changing, some of these attributes, without a heck of a lot of redoing investment.
There's a suggestion to make it.
Here.
Scale of those. Oh,
I think this window, here,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the scale and the type.
I'm sorry, this one here. I'm sorry. Why is that?
Like how it's filming, so that the level of clouds will be like. The ones for my lighting, living, that's like the baby.
That's a missed opportunity. Yeah. This, where this is located currently is concerning. Yeah.
Better make it lower.
Yeah.
High. Water close.
I mean, is it something the contractor just made decisions in the field and then told you about it?
No, I think the homeowner had an understanding based on his explanation and sharing of details.
I don't think we went out of our way to do exactly the opposite of what was approved. It was based on what's limited to us. I mean, it would have been better if the whole house was knocked down. Trying to restore a 1920s house and make it a functionality, it's not the same. You have to understand.
I disagree.
yeah.
I'm in a 1937 house.
And I'm in a 27.
So
Oh.
I don't live in some brand new house that's all perfect from some developer.
Yeah, I'm not a developer.
Made here could have been made differently. Raising the height of this window wasn't necessary, but
It is necessary.
Stairs,
It's necessary to raise the height of that window because that window is where the bathroom is. So if I was to come out the shower or the tub, it would
This
still.
window, is that the bathroom is?
Oh, that window, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you meant the window up top.
No,
That window was slightly raised because of the height.
it was considerably raised. And it was considerably raised and oriented much differently.
The one on the second, the first, we're talking the one on the first.
We're talking this one.
Yeah, this one. Versus.
So it's we level the house and send it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, it's the same.
It's because of
That would,
that was
really custom.
wires coming. Remember the big plots that were sitting?
I know,
people
I know,
just,
I know.
they come before,
I know,
That's the reason why we took that out, working on the ceiling.
I know.
and then they decide to go off and do their own thing until somebody catches them. And then they have to come back and they're begging for forgiveness, assuming that we're just gonna say, oh, it's okay.
Are there any modifications that can be made?
That's what I'm meant, that's what I was exploring. It's kind of hard to tell without really seeing. I would imagine that this window can be more in keeping in terms of relocating.
The second floor.
This one here, the first, this one here, which would require, obviously, this to be, well, maybe not. Well, maybe, I don't know. But this window really does, almost like blasphemy to the architecture, to be honest. That's what it looks like. And that's kind of within our purview. That's why, an ARB exists, for us to kind of go, go ahead. Just be,
What's the solution?
and that's what I'm struggling with right there. Pardon me?
Like to adjourn it and have the applicants take a look and see what they could do. Bring it more in keeping with what was originally.
Thank you, because I am inclined to wonder about aspects that I don't have information on. Thank you, Nkechi. I was in an emotional place. Yes, let's see where we can, move closer, if not actually move here to what was approved. For the front elevation, where's the back? Can I see the back again? Sorry.
Inside is showing wide.
Same.
Double before.
Okay, more or less. That's, back on.
I would like to know. Yeah, they would have to go into. Inside. That's the way.
This is what we approved.
Sure, I would.
Later.
Don't know from that form of the structure. As compared to like me trying to validate in terms of.
Still have Mason, we still have the veneer,
It's cheap.
so that'll help balance it out, but the front. You gotta bring that front window and the bay window to the right of the front window. In that first, on that first presentation board that I just passed you. And I'm sorry, but that's a hard one to have to. Is there anything else on the back?
There was mention of the AC units and placement. Is it That's the one?
No,
No.
that was Kimberly.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Correct, correct.
So. Journalists, are you gonna give us cool comments?
No, we're gonna adjourn this for you to go to the drawing board and get that, front elevation, closer to what was approved, initially.
Front elevation, so more concern, back is a little more forgiving.
I think you need to look at both.
That's how I feel, but I.
No, I think you need to look at both. This. You need to look at both.
Help to do something with the back, somebody said the direction or compromise, because it is built. I don't want to go and redo everything. And everything.
I understand.
Were there any particular features that were particularly glaring?
Windows, all the windows.
Is it?
I mean, I actually get the whole thing about the roof and the drainage. I don't think your solution was the best one, and I also don't think it was the only one. I don't know how much more you could do that. It's changing the character of the front of the house because now you have this eave, whereas before it was flush, and that's what created the style, that Normandy style. I think you need to look at this holistically and come back to us with how you're going to address making it more like what you presented and it was approved from the beginning. This would never have been approved.
Trying to think, I can't make him rip out everything, but I need to compromise help. Like,
Well,
bring it
you know what? Somebody made the decision to go against what was approved and build it and spend the money to do that. And that's a risk. With risk, there comes consequences and there comes rewards. So
I get it.
So, the question, you would like to see, for example, like renderings and things of that nature?
yeah, and what is the material going to be? What is the window type going to be? That window that's in the master or the primary bedroom, is that a fixed window?
They're all basements. They all open.
Because I don't even see the casement line in the one that's on the front. The
whole. Basement, so then the whole thing opens.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, it is, so it's not a double hung.
No.
It is a casement. It's just scale then, right,
Right.
the casement.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just trying to get some comments and then we'll talk to them.
yes. Thank you.
Thank you. This is,
Motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
oh, but what about the, where they going?
Application.
Well, that's coming later.
Coming to adjourn that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. That's, one of the jump.
The motion to adjourn that application,
Motion to adjourn this application.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
230 East Sanford Boulevard. In the Commercial Business District, we've received an affidavit of signed posting. The attorney for the applicant for Decor's Jennifer Canarick, thank you for that. The owner of the property is MDC Coastal One LLC. Hello, MDC Coastal.
She is actually the architect.
She's the architect? Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I represent 44.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
So you're requesting a certificate of appropriateness to re-tenant the existing vacant Stop and Shop supermarket location into a floor and decor retail store, including modifications to the existing southern building entrance to construct a customer pickup area and ADA upgrades, including relocation and regrading of parking stalls and sidewalk extensions to East Sanford Boulevard. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Jennifer Knapp from Price City Shulman and Diomedy on behalf of the applicant for the board. Thank you for hearing us this evening. And thank you for professionals for reviewing the application on our behalf. Just to give you a little background on Florida Core. I don't know if any of you have been in a Florida Core store. Some of the planning board members had But their leading specialty retailer offering a broad selection of tile, wood, stone, related tools, flooring, accessories. There's over currently 261 stores throughout the US offering superstore selection at warehouse pricing with showroom quality. Closest locations currently to Mount Vernon, we have Portchester location that's operating. We also have a Nanuet and Warwick, Rockland County. That actually, I live in Rockland County and I can attest that. Same thing with the Stop and Shop that vacated in Rockland County. 44 went into their space off of Route 59.
Just curious, where in Portchester? Is it over by that Target and Home Goods, that big shop?
Yeah,
Okay.
the retail corridors.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I move forward, I did want to let some people into the Zoom meeting.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That would be Erin, Britt.
I don't see her.
What about Rodman Ritchie?
He's there.
Okay. And Erin's not there?
It's not there.
Okay.
Who are these?
Erin is the a land development manager for Floor and Decor. And Rodman Ritchie is with Dynamic Engineering, who are the lead design professionals for the site plan aspect of for the planning board application. To address any questions that you may have relating to site plan. And you had mentioned, obviously, in your introduction, Madam Chair, with regard to what we're seeking, the site improvements, so I'm not going to repeat that. But just to give you a little background as to where we were at with the planning board, we were last before the board on June 4th. We provided additional information that was requested of us. We submitted revised site plans that address landscaping, grading improvements, interior store photograph package, exterior lighting package, reflective sound pads. All this is part of your application as well. I just wanted to give you a little background on that. At that meeting, the planning board voted to move forward with resolution prep. We couldn't close the public hearing because the secret license hadn't ended yet, so we're back to them July 16th. And in the meantime, we're here before you to present the architectural review board application. And without further ado, I can have my architect give it to him.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Pamela Blum, and I represent SBLM Architects on behalf of the board. So the part of my presentation that I'll be speaking most about the exterior of the building and how that is going to change in order to make the transition from the former Stop and Shop to the national brand for flooring. So your existing building, which is very lovely, Stop Shop, and you see our rendering of how the building will look as a transition. And what you notice first off is that there are very few changes. So we're keeping the major elements of the pilasters, so that's split base CMU. As you can barely see it, but it's the same thing along the base. So those elements will all stay the same. Base of the building. The roof will stay the same, this cornice will stay the same. Color here will stay the same. So where we start to get into some changes, we change the base of the building. Oh, and I wanted to give you so the finishes, so the color will change at the base to what we call our urbane bronze. Then all the storefronts will be the same, similar urbane bronze color. And then we pick up the floor and decor red signage, so the canopy here and here will pick up that red color.
Sorry, tell me again, the bronze, where does that go?
It's right here. See this color right here?
Ah, okay. Yep.
So here it was white or the sort of creamy color, the existing ethos cream color. So at the base, it will be the urbane.
Okay.
So that will also, this banding here, that we see existing, I guess is this purple color, that'll be the urbane bronze.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, from that
Yeah.
line down.
Yeah, okay. And then the red accent.
The red
the
accent.
canopy,
Canopy.
right.
Here.
Canopy, signage, canopy, yeah, okay, yeah.
Talk about the entrance. Yes, so then the other concern are the entries. So this previously was the main entry. This was the secondary entry. Because of the layout of the store.
On the upper level?
Well, it's only one level. We're only taking one upper portion. Yeah, we're only taking the upper, the
Lower.
well, we call it at grade. So when you drive all in,
You're right.
you're at grade.
Yeah, yeah.
So because of the location of the loading docks to this side, and because of the type of store that we are, which is buying flooring, tile, heavy material. So we need proximity between our materials coming in, populating the store, and then when the customer comes in, they come in this entry. This becomes the main entry. They circulate through. Hopefully they got their product, and then they all leave here, and this becomes the customer pickup. CPU is customer pickup. So it happens all in one shopping experience. And they come here, drive their car here, and the materials come back out. So,
And Sanford is to the left, plan left, right?
correct. Yes. Correct. So now it may seem a little counterintuitive that this didn't stay, the main entry, but functionally for the store, this needs to be near the loading docks. So this is secondary entry and customer. And then, so these colors stay here on the front facade, and then they wrap around the edge here. So this is Sanford. So you'll see those same colors for that first sort of bay, and then the same thing for that little portion there. And everything else remains as it is, finishing colors. That's.
So from when you're driving down Sanford, you will see this
Yes.
and then I saw that in one of the photos, there's the sign, podium, I don't know what they call it.
The pylon.
Pylon.
Stop and shop. Yes.
You're keeping that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was requested, the planning board requested some landscaping around it, just to brighten it up a little bit, so we agreed to provide
Native plants. You agreed to provide native plants.
native plants.
Native plants.
Provide native plants.
That is a requirement.
Absolutely.
So we would be taking over that portion of the sign
Okay.
that was stoppage.
So you said you're at grade level. And I'm not familiar with this building. I'm
Sure.
There's a second floor?
There is, from the back side, it is a uniquely, shaped property. So there's a steep grade, so this is Sanford. And you drive along here, you can see they're picking up this whole piece here. So there is another tenant here
Oh, okay.
that's accessed from the side. So there's another tenant.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Is there a plan to, I'm just looking on Google Earth and I see the parking lot, and there are areas where, there is, kind of a barrier between the storefront, the driveway, these little
Oh, the
areas here, islands. they're not well maintained.
Yeah, we actually, they vacated in the fall, so there hasn't been upkeep of those landscaping beds, but we agreed again with planning board to update and provide mulching and shrubbery that
Yeah.
needed to. We certainly want to upgrade the site.
Sure.
As best as possible.
Sure,
It's
sure.
new, it's new, you know.
Sure, yeah. So those two can receive the same native plantings that, or not the same, but native plantings, so that maybe they will do a lot better. But to your point, it's been vacant, so.
Yeah,
I haven't been.
definitely, I agree with you. It's just like any other property when you
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
wait for a while, it gets a little.
So-
Choose the wrong plants and they all die.
yeah,
Native.
that's the thing.
I'm gonna walk away from this meeting saying native.
So, you know about the bird issue? So I'm looking on Google Earth and I was like, wow, it looks like the pigeons must, kind of hang out in the front.
That's not.
I was and I wanted to see the shot where I see all the birds. Yeah, for sure. So then I swiveled around and I
Oh,
thought,
yeah, no, that's not happening.
but take a look at, you know, what could happen to the,
They probably built,
yeah,
Yeah.
under here.
yeah.
So plan for that.
Absolutely.
That
Thank you.
is so not,
Is that, you're talking about under the canopy?
yes.
We have a standard detail that has netting under our house.
There you go.
Okay.
And I noticed on one of your pictures here for one of the stores, you know, the aesthetics of it with the lighting and, will it have that effect? I'm just asking.
As the lighting?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, so
you
we,
know, that is,
since it was
Yes.
recently vacated sewer,
and greenery.
the lighting is fairly, it's up to date, what's there. So we're going to utilize what's lighting is there. But again, we agreed with the planning board's recommendation to do a lighting study to make sure that we have sufficient lighting for security purposes.
Yes.
We are in the works with doing that, and we agreed to work with the city to make sure that the light, because we want security too. I mean,
Sure.
You know,
But then at the same time, we think about, you know, light pollution.
correct, we don't want no spillage. no
Birds migrate at night and so
Yeah.
lights,
And that's what the lighting study is going
Yeah,
to.
consider
make sure
that,
we-
yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, so that more of the light is down here and not.
Yes, down, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I have to ask you know, so the stainless, the metal, the silver, no, the silver that's existing, is that gonna be bronze? Are you gonna change that at all?
About,
I'm talking about the existing entrance, yes, ma'am.
so these will be replaced, so that's your bronze color, the urbane bronze.
So no more silver.
Correct.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Not bad.
Can you go back to that technical equipment, one? Okay.
These are in the photos, the as-built photos.
No, it's okay. Never mind.
Are you referring to security?
No, I was looking at the mechanical equipment alongside the building.
I know.
It was he was moving quickly. Maybe I thought I saw something that wasn't there.
That's the Sanford side.
What's that?
This.
Okay,
So I think I
This
think
is the-
240 is the other tenant that they.
Yeah,
mentioned.
that's the lower area.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like an electrical.
Yeah.
Looks like a transformer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Okay. There were no conditions. Is there a motion to approve as
The landscaping is.
only native?
Got it.
Not in.
Okay, so we'll make a motion, someone make a motion
I make a motion to approve
With
as
that
presented.
with that.
With that condition, sorry.
There a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
All the best. Yes.
Come visit us. Tomorrow.
No, certainly.
This is, it's very exciting. I think this is gonna be great. You guys are looking at this schools already.
You know what? It's a few adaptive reuse. It's
Oh,
looking
yeah.
for it. You know, why, I look for it.
Aye.
It's not adaptive, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Okay, I think there's the last item on the agenda is a new public hearing, 3.1 ARB 318. Hello. 318 Southward, South, 8th Avenue. Is that applicant here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Greater Centennial. The owner is Greater Centennial, and the Zion Church, represented by Kathy Sabir. Kathy? Hello, Kathy, how are you? The lead design professional, the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a prefabricated community life center.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm Captain Severe. Second engineer. Beautiful project. Greatest Centennial AD Zion Church here in Mount Vernon. The Family Life Center. As mentioned before, this is, to give you guys a little history, if you're unaware, there was another building that was on this site. I want to say back in 2007, the economy collapsed. The church started construction on a building that would have been the brand new church. Because the original intent was to build a new church, tear down the existing church, and move it to a beautiful new building. Of course, we all know what happened in 2008. That became impossible. So the existing building ended up sitting there for 10 years, basically, incomplete, unfinished. And when the church realized they were ready to embark on trying to finish this project, when it took a look, and unfortunate, the building has sustained so much water damage and freeze and thaw to all the existing steel structure that none of it was safe enough. So it was clear that the old building had to be torn down, which it was. So what we did is we tore down the old building down to the foundation. Found a Butler building that somewhat fit on the existing foundation. Although the existing foundation still needed to be modified to make it work, extended on the side. And basically that's what we had. And obviously now it's no longer going to be the church, because in the interim from 2008 to now, the church invested in multiple repairs to the existing church. But now the intent is to keep the existing church, and now this is becoming the Family Life Center, which is the community center. It's a community center with a gym, multiple multi-purpose rooms, and it's also going to house the office space for all the for the church office. So they no longer have to be in the church. You can't see it in this rendering, but literally to the right of this rendering is the existing church. They'll be able to move their existing offices into here and then repurpose the space in the church to do more church-related activity. So that's the overall plan. Yeah. That's one. Yes. Okay. So this is the cellar level. Yeah, I didn't have a point, I don't want to get it. But basically the wonderful colors that you see sort of centered is the actual footprint and the foundation of the previous building that never finished construction. And the areas you see with the gray are the extensions to the foundation. So you see there's a small extension to the left, larger one to the right, And basically, that's all infill, so that's all slab on grade, so there's no space in the southern level there. On the first floor. And then basically, we see all those, living rooms and all multi-purpose. We have egress stairs. We have restrooms based on the number of occupants. Also. Following an elevator, that's a little big box, just in there.
So we can move to the exterior, only because that's within our purview.
I'm just giving you a little background. So you
Okay.
understand. So didn't I see a photo? It was like a bad eighties postmodern
Yeah,
structure. Yes, that was there before?
yeah,
Yeah, no longer.
that's what's gone.
But the church is an older.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the building you were referring to was literally, the construction started in the early 2000s.
yes,
Basically stopped when the
yeah,
economy collapsed. Yes, the original church is much older. Like I mentioned, they invested money, new roof, new this, new that, basically bring the existing church. Okay, so I'm gonna pick back up. I'm gonna let Maya, who's our project manager, lead designer on the project, she's gonna take over details from there. Okay. I'll be over in the wings. That's Maya Glavin.
Hello, everyone. I work for SRW. I'm just gonna grab the samples I have.
great.
So, as Kathy said, the building is a prefabricated Butler building. We did provide shop drawings in the submittal. If you want to look at those, I don't have those here. But in terms of the facade material, we are gonna go with a ceramic tile. So it's mounted on vertical suspension rails. It's essentially a rain screen, so it attaches to the existing Butler building. That's you see, and then this is actually the corrugated metal facade that comes with the Corel Butler building system. It's painted, it's gray, unfortunately. Not have a sample small enough to bring here. It's actually in the pragmatic thoughts of the site. They're too large. And then the roof system comes with the Butler building as well. I believe it's a standing seam metal roof. Yeah. We have gutters. We have interior roof drains.
Right.
Yes. No gutters. There is lighting in the exterior as well.
Any cut sheets for those?
Yes. I know they're in the packet.
They're in the packet. Is that the packet, William? You can scroll to the,
Those are the only colors. The two that are here, because it looked like there was a combination of a blue, a gray. Could you go back to that? That first one that you had the picture of. There. So it almost looked like there that is more than two colors there. So just to clarify.
You're talking about the difference between.
Yes,
Yeah, this is just in the shadow.
it just looks that way. Okay,
It does
okay,
Two.
okay,
That's just the sun and rain.
okay,
Red, both of those, red.
okay.
Does the housing,
One in the back looks darker also, so.
The housing is to the left, but that's
but does that belong to the church? Okay, so that's where you're taking your inspiration for the colors for this, for the materials for this?
Yeah, we're trying to blend in.
I'm not putting words in the mouth, by the way. I'm just confirming. No, because I saw that and I didn't realize this was part of the church.
Right.
Because it looks more like it's part of the housing.
it's the greatest centennial home.
Okay, okay. No, that's good. That's good. Contextual.
Could you slow down?
that's a black wrought iron fence there. You have, or is that red, the fence around the property?
I think
It's,
that's.
yeah, that's a black wrought iron. Oh, it's
Picking up on the idea that's in front of the housing.
I think that's the sunset reflecting on.
Got you, okay.
Yeah, that's so good, the night ending. And some other images showing the landscaping, when we just, were meeting, they were posting this morning to the landscaping. Yes.
So you, have a plant schedule and that will have native plants on there, hopefully, if they don't, you do have native plants.
You have the Norway maple, and I saw a Japanese holly, which is not native.
It's not.
But go with there's other islands to choose from, are native to zone 7.
Yeah, we're happy to pick some.
Yeah, that'll just be one condition.
That was, we thought it would be a nice, it's evergreen.
No,
pretty.
absolutely.
But there are natives that perform that same way, so to your point.
I'm not familiar
That'd be
with the
a condition.
linden. Oh, the linden tree.
That's about 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It has fragrant flowers. It provides the adequate shading.
Like the native.
I knew that.
I am not familiar with the tree,
And it's called a linden,
American linden, or well,
Little leaf and
little leaf linden, thank you. Okay. Just looking for the lighting in the packet, maybe you could help me. It may not be,
And I'm sorry, there's a lot in here.
Yeah.
It should be at the end of, yes, you're in the right track.
I am. Towards the interior. There we go. No,
Nope, that's still,
is this the collection?
that's what we were looking at for the exterior. We actually ended up going,
Yeah, all right, keep going.
I think it's at the very end.
Sure, it's not these?
It is not, it's a square fixture that's.
We're double-sided. Pages.
Yeah, they are.
Sided.
Yeah, let me give this to you. Yeah.
Actually, are you able to look at what's on the portal, Mount Vernon portal? Yeah, in the submission, was it?
or where it's in the package.
Like it was in like the open job form, you submitted to open job. What's the name?
No,
It is not in here.
is that it?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Oh, okay, very good. Temperature will you guys be choosing, you know? The 3,000?
2,900.
2,900, very good, yeah. Cool. It's a nice picture, nice and down. Focus light. Are there any other questions about the exterior? Can we go back to exterior elevation and the side? Okay.
That's, this is the sign. Okay. Agree. Yep, you guys kept it simple. I see the cut sheet for the windows, the canopy. Where the light fixtures will be, I can see that. Are the benches just for rendering purposes or will there be?
That's what I'm saying.
This is a bit out of our purview, but from a code zoning perspective, you have enough parking or you have.
Part of it about my, so the church, in addition to the church owns the church, this land. Housing, there's a lot directly across the street. Make this parking lot.
Okay.
Basically, it's gonna be shared, the church has been on Sundays, basically.
I see it. Okay. It's big.
It was more than enough space.
Any further questions, comments?
I don't. know.
Okay. There was only one condition, that was the native planning, correct? We didn't miss anything else. Is there a motion to approve with that condition?
I will make a motion to.
Thank you, Commissioner Woods. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All the best.
Can I take a picture? I'm allowed to memorialize the room.
It's been a journey, we know.
Thank you.
You're very, all the best.
First time around. We finished. Where's Maya, turn around. I think smile like you got approved the first time. Think, wait, I missed it. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Got it.
Thank you, sir.
Of course. Did you guys have samples here? We've been stealing samples all night.
Maria's taking them home to use. Oh, this one's,
That's not, that's.
oh, they have, okay. It's the.
Okay, any further business?
Equally fine.
You'd like to talk about the weather or anything? No? Hang
I
out for
make-
another.
We'd be home much later. I thought we'd.
Fair motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn
Is
this meeting.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Y'all want to high five us, don't you?